Ronan's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes, where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steve out on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTuber Ronan. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Reserved Seats. Tonight, we control the vertical, we control the horizontal, and we are Naruto running through this bitch. I want to say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who've joined us here in the live chat. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, The Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. Creator of the 10-word review, host of Films with Friends, Big Op Presents. All right. My guest this evening is waiting patiently backstage, so let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Geeky Geezers, co-host of Live from Sparkwood and 21, and Friday Night Last Call, the president of the Flappy Fan Club, H. Boomer.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Or, as they would call him on 1883, he who rides on tractor.
They even have tractors back then.
They did not.
How did they mow the lawn?
I don't believe they did. They're pretty much out in the prairie most of the time.
They would just set it on fire.
Yeah. It's okay. Deforestation. Forest Service, never heard of it.
Oh man, I got some Criterion DVDs in the Criterion sale.
Oh, well, which ones?
I got Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai.
Nice.
Ever hear of that one?
Big fan of that one.
Jim Jarmusch, and I got The Thin Blue Line.
The documentary.
Errol Morris is big deal documentary. I like Errol Morris documentaries. I liked his first person series that was on PBS. I have a copy of that on DVD. Very interesting.
Yeah, I got Point Blank and The Red Circle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've heard of The Red Circle.
French film. Jean-Pierre Melville directing, it did La Samurai, and Alain Delon, Yves Montand, heist film.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Indeed. But we are here tonight as, I guess you could say, kind of part of what's become our film series. And we are going to be talking tonight about the Zach Krieger's Weapons.
Yeah, I had been on the fence for this one because I hadn't seen it yet. I actually watched it a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty impressive, I thought. But did you have a thought on it? I mean, here's the thing. It's one of these movies where I'm like, it's not going to live up to the hype, but I actually found myself rather enjoying it. So there. It's a good horror movie. That's what I want to say. It's a good horror movie. There.
Yeah.
It features what I consider to be the most terrifying monster you can have in a horror movie, but we'll get into that.
We will. It is. It's pretty terrifying. It is, and I look for it on my ceilings to this day.
Oh.
Yes.
Hmm.
Or were you thinking of something else?
No, we're talking about the one with the woman that uses a bowl of water, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I guess she was on
Oh
the
yeah.
ceiling. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Well, whatever.
Okay. Indeed.
Why
All right.
not?
Well, like I said, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hello to Enigma Severus. Did you guys get your seats, or were they still? They were reserved, as the title says. All right. So weapons. So we get started um, in medias res, as Troy would say, and we are given a brief narration that tells us that what we are watching is a true story.
Who's the narrator? Let's start off with that.
We never really find out. Is the thing.
What does she
You know,
sound like?
We know that she is a young girl. She says that she goes to the same elementary school as the children in the film. Maybe at the same time, maybe not. Because the narrator in the film, you wonder if she is reliable, because you get her at the beginning and you get her at the very end. And the ending of the film would seem to contradict some of what she says at the beginning. Yeah,
Maybe.
She goes into the whole dialogue of, this is my school, this is my town. I was in the 5th grade, kindergarten through the 5th grade. And she basically gives us the premise that all of the kids showed up for school except for one class. And that was Miss Gandy's class. Everybody, only one kid came to class, Alex Lilly. And the other kids didn't show up because at 2:17 in the morning, they all got up, went downstairs, went out the front door, ran off into the night, and never came back.
And naturally, it's all one class except for the one little boy in the class, correct?
Correct.
And they're all blaming the town. They have like a town meeting where they talk to the school officials, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not liking the teacher.
No, they're not. They believe that, they believe that she had something to do with it, that something went on inside the class. And sort of the one spearheading this is Archer Graff, who's played by Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
And his son is one of the missing kids.
Yes.
And he's
losing it.
He is.
Because police have turned up nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
And you kind of, you get the idea that this is kind of this is over their heads. Something like this, you kind of get the idea that a lot of what happens is kind of minor, chasing some junkie into an alley is maybe the highlight of their day, and you kind of get the idea that when it comes to what essentially is a kidnapping in this scale, or a disappearance to this scale, is not something that they are used to or even consider.
Yeah, and
So yeah,
you figure something would have turned up. Right?
you would think, yeah. But
And
there's go ahead.
they're blaming the teacher, Justine,
Hmm.
elementary school teacher. They're saying, you must have had something to do with this. And they interviewed the little boy, and what did he say? Did he give any accounts, or he didn't know what was going on, or something?
No, he doesn't know what's going on.
Okay.
They ask him, was this planned?
The kid's
Basically,
playing a prank.
The kid's playing the prank. He said, if they are, they didn't let me in on it, because you kind of get Alex is what used to get called back in the day the Stephen King kid. He's the quiet one in the back of the in the back, who's always kind of bullied, never quite fits in. I should know, because I kind of was that kid for a while, but
what?
Yeah, but so yeah, I there was a time in life where I was very much Alex, probably around the same time, but so yeah, I could relate to the kid for sure, which is interesting, because this is a film where I can kind of relate to the kid, and I can relate to the adults, because I would definitely be going out of my mind trying to figure. I would, I'm not saying I would be like Josh Brolin's character in the way that I would act, but I would definitely be the guy who decides I'm going to investigate this on my own.
So this movie is divided into kind of chapters, right?
It is. You have several characters. They each get a chapter. Justine gets a chapter. Archer gets a chapter. Alex gets a chapter. The cop Paul gets who's Alden Ehrenreich. He gets a chapter. And James, who's Austin Abrams, who's the junkie, who kind of solves the thing, but doesn't realize that at the time, because he's so messed up. But they each get a chapter, and basically we get. Oh, does Marcus get a chapter? I think he does.
See the principal?
Yeah, the principal.
Yes, he does.
Benedict Long. Yeah.
So,
okay.
So if we're going in order. We start out with Justine. That she's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like her. They said, you're no good. Some people think she's a witch. Is that right? Did I hear that tossed around in the beginning?
Well, witch does get tossed around at the beginning, because
does she have a cat?
Does she have a cat?
Yes.
I don't recall.
She's a single one with a cat. That's it. That's hook, line, sinker.
But
okay, that means you're a witch.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Make sure does she float? I don't know.
Yeah, floats. Oh, floats. I love floats. Yes. They were doing that. I mentioned Cat File to Big Al. They did that episode of Cat File. Oh, floats. Oh, he's innocent or something. It's like, no. Okay. So, she has a bit of a, maybe she used to have a drinking problem. Is that what I got the impression of? Or maybe
she's still in the middle of it, but yeah, she has a drinking problem. And
she's just stressed out because she's basically on hiatus from teaching until they figure this out, right? Plus,
true.
Well, also she lost her class.
And that kind of becomes a distressor for her to fall back off the wagon. Yeah.
And Paul, played by Alden Ehrenreich, he's her ex-boyfriend, I believe.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Who's one of the police officers on the case. He's just telling her, let us handle it. We're investigating.
Right. And he is, I guess, now married to...
Engaged.
Engaged? Okay.
I believe it's engaged.
To the daughter of the police chief. Always a good career move.
Yeah, I believe it's engaged, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, no. It says
So-
father-in-law. Never mind. They are married. Okay, I thought they were engaged. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, no. And I don't think I realized that at the beginning because they looks like they have a night together, him and his ex, right?
Yes.
We're not entirely sure what happened. Maybe he just kept her company overnight and nothing happened. I don't know because we find out more later. And yeah, it's I think she gets frustrated after a while and she starts investigating herself and she starts following the little boy home.
Yeah,
the
because
only
there's nothing
other-
creepy in that at all.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's see. So I think she basically waits outside the house, right? Because she's wanting to talk to his parents, right?
Well, I think what we should kind of do is kind of discuss the night before, because that's where her chapter really kicks off.
Okay.
Is the fact that of course it starts out she's at the meeting at the school between the administrators, this police shrink, I guess, and the parents and the other town folk, and kind of a town hall sort of deal,
Mhm.
and which does not go very well. It gets disrupted pretty much because Archer disrupts it and demanding answers because he's convinced Justine is involved in this and is responsible in some fashion. So she is whisked away from this meeting. Marcus says, just go home and lock the doors. But what she does is she goes to a liquor store first. And that's where we get our first glimpse at James, who's Austin Abrams' character, who is so out of it that he asks her for change as she goes not only in but also out, because he's forgotten already, and
Because he's substance abuse problem.
on the nod, let's say, and he's a substance abuser, yes, and so she finally does go home, and that's when she's getting phone calls, no caller ID, people knocking at her door. She goes to the door, nobody's there, and she decides, okay, to hell with it, I'm going to go outside. And of course, that's always a wise choice. You never go outside to investigate a strange noise.
Well, she's frustrated though. Think about it though.
She is.
I'm not saying that what she's doing is the smartest thing, but she's
No.
wound up tight like the other people
She
in
is.
town. But
Mhm.
she's also the one who's being blamed for everything by the people in town, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Because she says, I don't know what's happened. I'm just as curious as everybody else. And she is, she is just as anxious to find out what happened as everyone else is. It's just that everybody's blaming her, or at least is seemingly blaming her at this point. And that's when she goes outside, and that's when she finds that witch has been painted on the side of her vehicle.
Not nice.
Not nice. So
This is something that I wonder, do we find out who painted Witch on the side of her vehicle?
we do.
Is it who I think it is?
Yes.
Okay. Because someone got the paint order mixed up. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Never mind. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. So, right.
And
So
I think she gets yelled at in the liquor store by a lady.
that's later, but yes, she
Okay,
does.
yes. Okay. That's later.
And yeah. But the next day from that, she goes back to work, and that's basically when Marcus sits her down. She's not fired, she's not suspended, but she's in limbo. And they've moved Alex to another class, and because this is the thing is some time has gone by between and this is where I think people kind of get the timeline of the film confused a little bit, is the fact that you because essentially it's a movie where you have multiple timelines going, and it's kind of like Pulp Fiction that way, is you kind of it's the whole answers first, questions on. Only this movie kind of reverses it. You're asking the question, and then you get the what happened later on.
Right.
So you see, you open with the night the kids disappeared. Then you cut to, obviously some time has passed after that. And when you get to a certain character segment, and we'll get to that, you get the backstory to what actually happened, and the way it's put together. It's pretty cool the way it's done. But exactly how much time? I know they said. But I know that there was quite a bit of time between the disappearance and when we get the movie.
2 to 3 months,
proper.
maybe?
I think it's been like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
It's been going on
a while.
Yeah.
It's been going on a while. That this would typically be an investigation they'd probably give up on if it was a single kid. But because it's so many, they sort of still have it going. I don't feel the police is being too competent in this movie either, if I'm being honest here. They're not competent. Where are the feds?
The feds are there.
Okay, so the feds are involved. Okay, because
they are also kind of.
There's no Agent Cooper.
Easily hoodwinked.
There's no Agent Cooper here, so
no.
Agent Cooper would have figured this out in probably a week. All right,
he probably would have.
But here we are. Mulder and Scully would have stumbled around and not. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking back to X-Files episodes where Mulder and Scully are ineffective to the outcome, and the thing happens anyway because they're too busy running around and not coming up with solutions. That's happened on the X-Files. Or there are these episodes where they wouldn't solve anything. That would be one of these episodes here. They would be ineffective in this situation.
Yeah. But the thing with me though with the X-Files is that those were some of my favorite episodes. Were the ones where they just kind of I don't want to say they stumble onto it. It's just by the time they figure it out, it's a little
too late.
Yeah,
that happened a number of times, and when they did the revival series, I'm like, oh, with 6 episodes, at least they're not going to waste our time on a Mulder and Scully or useless episode. Oh no, there it is. They did another one where Mulder, Scully, and Mulder are useless in this episode.
The one that, well, there are a few that get me, but the one that my mind always goes back to is the ones is the one where the school teachers are like part of a cult.
Yes, that's the first one of those. Actually, that was the first one I saw. That this is one of these.
Yeah,
where the horrible thing would have transpired whether they had been there or not.
Yes, okay. It's just like let's just say that these cultists kind of run into the real thing. Yes. and she decides to deal with them, and by the time Mulder and Scully get there, she's basically gone. And she leaves up on the chalkboard, "It was nice working with you."
Yes.
And I'm
And I
like,
don't know if she was a witch,
Perfect.
if she was Satan himself. I never got a clue as to what exactly she was in that episode. What I did know was that, in fact, that's a good episode to mention because it kind of jives with this
Yeah.
movie, actually.
It does. Yeah.
And I remember that episode because Mulder, in his defense, I think he finally started figuring out what was going on toward the end. Okay, like there's a point is okay. I think I know what this cult people are up to and why they're in trouble now. Like he at least figured it out. Other episodes, they're like clueless to the end. It's like, oh, okay, and now we have to go back home and get yelled at by Skinner for wasting time or something. I'm just okay. Anyway, though, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
I need to watch X-Files again.
It's
been too long.
Clip on random episodes. It's all right. Just maybe stay away from after they move to LA. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, but this movie though, we don't have the FBI. The police are kind of useless. So it's up to the regular folk in town to start investigating this, and that's sort of what this is. And I actually do at this point when she's investigating believe that she had nothing to do with it. I wasn't sure at first. Did you know that, right?
Really?
No, I wasn't sure, but when I see that she's actively investigating, okay, she's not in it. Because I, for all you know, this is the face she's putting on. I'm the innocent school teacher, but she's really behind it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I can kind of.
But after some time goes by and I see her investigating, she wouldn't be investigating if she was in on it. So, okay.
No.
And there's some weird stuff going on in the little boy's house, right? Does she try stopping by there?
Mm-hmm. And you know, she follows him, and he's basically, you know, leave me alone. I don't want to talk. You know, and he runs inside the house. So she goes up to the house, knocks on the door. Nothing. You know, she walks around to the back and she notices that all of the windows have been papered over.
Yes.
But there is just that one little crack that got missed. And she looks in there and there's a couple sitting on the couch. And that's kind of the jump scare that you get there.
It's a little freaky.
Yeah.
All right. And she decides I'm going to do a stakeout, right?
Yes, she does.
Does she have a bottle of something with her too?
She does, because that when between the time that, well, okay, let me kind of rewind slightly back a bit. All right, so actually, after, you know, she makes the discovery at the house and sees the people on it's Alex's parents sitting in the dark on the couch, and we get the jump scare. And that's when she goes to the liquor store, and that's when we first see Donna, who is Paul's fiance and the daughter of the police chief.
Yes.
And she is none too happy, because she, at that point, we don't know how she knows, but she at that point knows.
Well, here's what happens. She says, "Did you?" Or she accuses her of doing, well, something I don't know if I can use the word on your stream.
Doing the deed. Yeah.
I thought she was talking about her and the kid. Because, of course, we know we have a thing in this country of female teachers sometimes. And I didn't know if that's what she was talking about. This is some random accusation. And then I realized, because I didn't know who this was when she approached her in the thing.
No, we don't know
it first. I know there's another member of the townsfolk just yelling at her. And then I realized, oh, well, wait a minute. Now we find out later on, okay, it actually makes sense. what the scene actually makes a lot more sense now than with information that we get later. Okay. But at that point, I don't know who she is, and I just figure she's another crazed townsfolk accusing her of doing terrible things. And I think at some point we and part of me wonders if these things are all just catalyzing. Says I got to solve this myself because no one else is going to do it, right? So she's waiting outside, and if memory serves, she passes out, right?
Okay. Right. So when she gets home from that liquor store, that's when we get the famous ceiling jump scare.
Oh, that's right.
Which worked. Well, actually, before that happens, she has a whole other nightmare where she's at the school. It's dark. It's at night. She walks down the hall and into her classroom, and all of the kids are there, and they're all like sort of painted up, and they're all very kind of creepy looking, and they're just sitting there. And as before, the camera focuses in on Alex.
Right.
So after that, and she confronts him, he runs off back into the house. That's when, okay, I'm going to stake the place out. And, brings the bottle, and she passes out from there. And then we pan over from her to the home, and the door opens, and someone comes stumbling out with a pair of scissors, gets into the back seat of the car, and snips off a lock of Justine's hair.
Yes.
And it's all a very creepy moment. And that's the point where it's like, yeah, this ain't Justine. This is something else going on.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
Okay. Do we go to the next segment after that?
Yes, we do. And that's where we cut to Archer Graff, who is played by Josh Brolin. And when we first meet him, he is sleeping in his son's room. He's become very uncommunicative. He's constantly watching this surveillance footage, one of those, Ring cameras. Which you kind of get the idea he's probably watched this thing thousands of times
on his own. Yes,
on his own, trying to look for something different, and it's getting to the point to where, not only is this is basically starting to affect his life in every way. His marriage is going down to two. He's not talking to his wife.
He's a house builder.
He is, and he's starting to mess up there as well and making mistakes. The whole paint got the wrong paint, and he's constantly going to the police. What's new, and all this, and are you investigating Justine? Because he keep hinting as that she has this past, which we find out, of course, was the excessive drinking, that she had an affair with another teacher at her last job, and Um, yeah, that. So Archer is very much in the camp of Justine is the guilty party, and so it's like he's like, "Oh, what did the feds know?" You know, like, and she's like, "Well, they're not going to tell you. They don't answer to you." You know,
Right.
if something new comes up, I'll let you know. I'll call you.
Okay.
So that gets us over to the next scene, which is basically the town hall scene again, but from his point of view.
His point of view, yes.
And then you get his dream sequence, which, if you put the timeline together, is happening at the same time that Justine is having hers. So read into that what you will. And so he sees his son running out of the home, doing the this now the Naruto run, as everybody's calling it, and he sees. Basically, it goes in a loop because he runs back into his own house again. And that's when we get the shot that I think kind of confused a lot of people, which is we get the shot of, he looks up above the house and you get the shot of the rifle over the house that says 217 on it. And when I saw this movie the first time, I was like, oh no, they Trojan horsed one of these in on me. It's going to be like this. It's going to be an anti-gun film. It's going to be some take on school shootings or something like that. But that's not what it is. What it is that's his subconscious telling him that the children have been taken for a purpose and they're being used in a certain way for that purpose. But in his subconscious, he's seeing it as, instead of a metaphorical weapon, an actual one. And that's what that's about. So he walks into the house and he goes up to the bedroom and starts talking to his son, and it's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't there for you. I wasn't a good father. I wasn't attentive enough, and I should have been a better father than I've been, and his son Matthew turns into the same, I'll say it at this point, entity that Justine is also seen, who is up on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Some weirdness here.
Very much. And he wakes up all, what the fuck? He starts freaking. Well, yeah, it's actually kind of funny, but
he's Mr. Burly everyday man. He's not into this weird stuff. Yes, he's an alpha. He's that guy. But he's kind of not at the same time. He's not quite the Billy badass he thinks he is, and that's the thing. So he takes out a map because as he is building homes in the area, he has basically the whole neighborhood mapped out. Yeah.
And that's when he hits on the idea that, okay, they ran away. They all headed off in the same direction. What's in that direction? So he goes to the home of another couple whose child is missing, and that's where you meet Justin Long and also Sarah Paxton, who is in the remake of The Last House on the Left.
Right.
And yeah. So she's one of those ones. Oh, it's always good to see her. Kind of
always interesting. Up. Yeah.
Oh, you're alive. You're vertical. Thank God.
Well, Justin Long's been in a lot of horror related stuff,
and he has too. Yeah, and he was in Barbarian, which was Zach Krager's previous movie to this. And guys, put Barbarian out on 4K. Put it on disc. Put it on physical media. Come on.
I'm surprised
you're
going to
make a mint. Yeah. There's some rights thing that's holding that back. I don't know what happened, but it needs to. That's a movie that very, very serious. I had issues with the movie, but I don't like the fact that there's no legal, physical media for it, and there needs to be.
Yeah, did Greyhound ever get released either? The World War II.
No. No, I mean, well, Apple TV.
They're the worst.
Yeah,
they will not release their stuff.
They don't release their stuff. Netflix very rarely does it.
They're getting better though. Netflix is. No, I'm not saying they're where they need to be, but they are going to release K-pop Demon Hunters through Criterion, and Stranger Things is coming out through Arrow. So it does happen, even though
that's
it's
a
rare.
Smart move. That's a smart move.
So yeah.
Okay, so he goes to Sarah Paxton and Justin Long's house, and she's not too receptive because he wants to see the Ring photos too. He wants to see the Ring video too. So he waits for Justin Long to show up, and Justin Long is a bit twitchy, to say the least. He's kind of, wait, who's this rolling up on me in my driveway here?
Yes.
And so he finally convinces him to show him the video. And that's when he gets the idea that, okay, they are going to one centralized area. He doesn't know which house yet, but he's got a pretty good idea of which way that they went. So once he has figured this out, he's driving off. He goes past a gas station, and that's where he sees Justine pulling in, and he gets into an argument with her, and then that's when Marcus shows up, the now possessed Marcus, and he attacks them. There's a scuffle. That goes from outside, and Marcus starts choking out Archer, and that's where that segment ends. On this big, what the hell just happened moment,
right?
And that's when we cut to Paul, and we find out that he is this recovering alcoholic, even though we have seen him previously take a drink in Justine's segment. So okay, he's back off the wagon, and
yeah,
and there's a lot of addiction in this, which is, and I think that there's kind of a reason for that, because Zach Krieger's Zach Krieger came from comedy, and he was on this show called The Whitest Kids You Know, which was this kind of Kids in the Hall kind of thing, updated sketch comedy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and actually pretty funny what I've seen of it.
yes,
And so his best friend from that was Trevor, I think Horn was his name, and he died under some rather kind of mysterious circumstances, and we don't know. It's to this day not known. Was it an accident? Did he self-delete? Was he high or not? Just kind of a mystery to this day surrounding his demise. And I'm not speaking out of school here. Zach Krieger has said this movie was written in part to help him get past losing his friend. Right. And so there are elements of that play into the film. And I think the fact that you have characters that are in various stages of grief, you have, you have like acceptance. That would
denial,
be like Marcus,
and all that. Yeah.
Denial and all that. And all of the characters are some stage or another of grief. So that you have all of that playing into it in the background as well. And hello to Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Welcome. And so we get the poll, and we get a bit of his kind of what's going on in his own personal life, and he kind of get the idea that it's just this guy against the world. He can't get a break no matter what. He's one of those guys. You kind of get the idea he feels like he's always got eyes on him, because he probably does.
Okay, but isn't some of this stuff brought on by his own,
yeah,
failings?
His own poor decision making all around, really, and during the course of his day, that's when we see James again, Austin Abrams, where Paul has caught him trying to get into this building, and there's a brief chase, and he catches up with him, and he goes through the whole spiel of, do you have anything in your pockets that's going to stick me in, all this?
Yes.
And of course, the kid says no, and of course, naturally.
Well, does the kid even say anything? Or did he say no, or did he just say, maybe he did say no. I don't remember. I almost thought he was like blank.
He does say no.
Yeah.
And then gets stuck
with a needle.
And he knocks out. And his hate to patch himself up. They have like kits for like cops if they get stuck with needles and whatnot, just like to give yourself some medical attention, And that's when he looks up and he sees, I had the body cam on. I had the dash cam on, and it saw me hit the kid. So he starts freaking out over that, and long story short, he basically he ends up letting him go. But if I see you around here again, that kind of bit,
Yes.
So he goes and he So he runs back and he tells the chief, hey, what happened? And this is, basically, patch yourself up, get your hand looked at, and deep six the footage because we got enough problems right now.
Well, no, but the thing is, if someone investigates and looks for that footage, the department can't protect them, he says. But the footage will eventually get recorded over after such a period, right? So, so as if this drug guy just leaves you alone and like he says, okay, you did me a bad, I did you a bad, right? Remember he tells that guy,
yeah, pretty much, yeah,
just leave, and it's so bad, it's just so bad.
So we basically cut back to the night with Justine from this time his point of view, and so she drives him back to the bar to get his vehicle, but he comes home and Donna's there waiting for him back early from wherever
of course
she was, and she very, very quickly, like frickin' Columbo, figures out everything he's been doing overnight just by looking at him.
Did he have like a sad puppy look on his face or something?
Well, he has a sad puppy look on his face through the whole damn movie. But he just,
did it again. Well, not only that, but it may not have been the first time that he's
might
done
not
something
have
like
been
this, because I think she must know a behavior.
Okay, so we go from there. We cut back to him. He is at work. He walks by the chief's office and he's in there with the feds, and there's this look between them, and you kind of question, okay, does the chief know what just happened? Did the daughter tell him her suspicions, or is it over their last conversation about James? We don't really know, and we don't find out. So Paul walks out of the building. He's going to his squad car, and guess who's wandering around outside? James.
Yes.
He goes chasing
James
after him.
I'm kidding. We don't like James. Okay.
Well,
no. I'm
no,
sorry.
we don't want. We do not like.
To know him better. I still don't like him.
We don't like him. We don't like him. But he's got a piece of the puzzle, so we're kind of stuck. Of course,
he does.
Yeah, no, and there are people who question, should the Paul and James segments have been in the film at all?
Oh, I think so. What people were saying they shouldn't have been?
Yeah.
Who said that?
There are people who are kind of down with the movie who think those two characters slow down the film.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say so. Because here's why. All right. So Paul walks out of the station house. James is there. And then he
goes. What did I tell you?
Tear ass after him.
Get out of here.
Leave town. Get out. And he doesn't. He's walking straight to the police station. And so he goes. Paul takes off after him, and that's where we cut away from him to James, and we cut to James trying to get, looking for loot, things that he can steal. He's to pawn off. He is a parasite. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He's
He's
every bad reputation that a homeless person would have, and
yes,
to be fair, I don't think all homeless people fall into this category, but he is all the bad.
He is.
Bad things, yes.
He
yes.
is. He's.
I mean, he is an addict. So that's probably contributing to this too. Yeah. In fact, what's his drug of choice?
He
uses needles.
Yes.
Is it a meth thing?
and various pipes, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
he's
I don't know. Okay.
it's implied, yeah, and he's basically living in this tent in the woods,
Right.
and he is just this complete mess. You can see why people want nothing to do, which is kind of a sad thing, because he's on the phone to someone who's obviously family. I think he even says it's a brother or something like that. And he's running this cock and bull story of, I need money because I just got this job, and I need the money for, and I need money for clothes so I can go and do this job, and I can't do the job without clothes and all this, and he's like talking like a mile a minute. And
yes.
You can tell that whoever is on the other end of the line, I've heard this before.
Yes. And it's all about, like, what does he need? Is he complaining about not having clothes to go to the interview or something? Okay.
Yeah. So, he gets a hold of, some little kid's tablet or something, and he pawns that off and doesn't get very much for it. And, so he's wandering around, and he winds up at Alex's house. And hello to the Clue Studio. So he winds up at Alex's house, where we already know something very hinky is going on there. We know this from Justine's segment. So he's going from room to room, picking out what he thinks is valuable, and that's when he realizes that you have the zombie parents on the couch.
Yeah, well, he's looking for silverware, and I think
he's looking for silverware, and he's like rooting around in there, like, because kind of anything that's valuable that he can sell, he's looking for. And
there's a lot of junk in that household.
There actually kind of is, yeah.
I think it's some knockoff game console they have on the floor. It almost looked like a Retron 5, if I'm not mistaken. It's not like premium stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they have some silverware in there, because I'm almost wondering, are the plates going to be made out of plastic next? It's just not. I just noticed it's a lot of junk in that house.
Well, the place is a mess for reasons that we're going to get to.
Yes.
And so James is hearing noises. First, he hears somebody upstairs. He walks past the door to the basement because he hears whispering from down here, and he opens the door. He walks down the stairs, and there are the children.
Yeah. So
yeah,
he then has an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get out of the house too?
He gets chased out of the house by the parents,
right? Who are no longer sitting there catatonic. They're up and about now.
Okay. They are now up and about.
Yes.
So he goes back to the pawn shop with what loot he's what he didn't drop, which was the silverware and the game console that you're talking about. And while he is there, he notices a reward poster that has all of the kids' faces on it.
Yes, and probably as Homer Simpson brain puts two and two together, I get some money.
Yes.
I tell them where the kids are.
I don't care. I don't care about the kids. I can just get this $50,000 to, put in my arm, or, smoke it or whatever he's planning on doing. Yeah. So he he then calls the police, and he's all like, I don't really like police stations. I'm really phobic about police stations, and I don't want to go down there. Can we just do this over the phone? And so I guess they've told him no, come to the station. So that's why he's there.
But then,
and then fucking Paul sees him and chases him away.
What did I tell you
from the
about getting out of
station.
town? And then he chases him into the woods, right?
Yes, he does. And he momentarily loses Paul.
Yeah.
But he gets a brief moment of his kind of spidey senses going off. And he realizes that he is being followed, but it is not Paul. It is once again the entity that Justine and Archer have seen in these nightmares that they've been having.
Yes.
So she's basically out there like, Pennywise, basically just, hello, come with me, yeah. So he dives back into his tent, and someone is outside, and he grabs like a handful of needles.
And then
open the flap.
Yep.
He comes down, stabs Paul right in the face.
Thinking it was whatever else was out there. Yes.
Yes.
And Paul's not, he's not happy.
No, and he has the shotgun. He's, screw it. I'm gonna kill this kid now. I'm done with you. And that's when he says, "The missing kids, I've seen them. I know where they are. I can take you to them." And so, okay, you better not be lying to me, because I'm done with you. I'm going to run you in now. I am not in the mood for this. He asks him, do you have AIDS? And he's like, huh? Do you have AIDS? I don't think so.
I've been stuck with a bunch of needles.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but really, how reliable is this kid? He's not, it's like the one time he's right about something and no one believes him because he's such a mess.
Yeah, but well, think about it. If I heard this guy saying it's probably just a guy trying to get a fast one. I've seen the kids. Give me the money.
Yeah,
but I'll take you to them. Okay, let's go see, because
Okay, so they drive all the way back to Alex's house.
Yeah. Naturally, Paul doesn't let anyone know either.
No, because
or I should say James or something. Yeah, but
not the sharpest tool in the shed either. So, and the fact that nobody notices that, like, the downstairs windows have had these, newspapers across them for now months, right? All of these, like, newspapers and everything, mail stacking up. The yard is a mess.
Yeah, stuff ain't right.
Yeah. And the only one who's kind of noticing it is an alcoholic and a junkie. So,
he's the one with the time on his hands.
Yeah. And so we have that creepy door opening up by itself, and Paul walks in.
Yeah, we don't know if there's someone behind there. Is he going? Yeah, it's that he's gone
very
for a few hours.
Odd. Yeah, and he is gone, and it's nighttime. James is still locked in the back of the car. And then Paul goes running out like a bulldozer, and he yanks James out of the car, drags him into the house, door slams, and we cut to Marcus.
Our principal.
Yes, he's the principal of the school, and he is there with his husband because, of course, he is.
Well,
And
they're in a grocery store, and
they're in
the
a, they're
husband
in a
keeps-
grocery
and
store.
the husband keeps showing
And-
him, do you want
yeah.
the blueberry Pop Tarts or the strawberry? And I keep thinking, don't they have buy one get one freeze wherever they are? I thought
Yeah.
that's what they were doing, but that's
I
not
guess
it.
that's what he's doing. Yeah, is this like buy them both? What are you doing? You know,
They
and
like their junk food. We learned this. They like their junk food.
they
Okay,
they like their junk food. Yeah. Because on top of the stages of grief, we've also got kind of a weird 7 deadly sins thing going on too.
Oh, I didn't even think about
Because
that.
he's also because Marcus's acceptance as far as the grief thing is concerned, but he's also gluttony at the same time. It's it's that kind of a movie. But so we see him in the store, and we see him in the store, and he's on the phone with Justine, and he's dressing her down because he has found out that she followed Alex home and tried to talk to him, which he expressly told her not to do. So we cut back to Marcus in his office eating because gluttony, and
He's eating jelly beans or something.
he's eating like jelly beans, and his secretary walks in and he says, "Your 2:30 is here." Oh, okay, send him in. Wait a minute, what 2:30? And that at 1 hour and 14 minutes and 4 seconds. I know that because I'm looking at the screen right now. That is when we finally get our first full on glimpse of Gladys.
Gladys, yes.
Played by Amy Madigan in her now Oscar-winning role.
Oh, she won Oscar. Okay,
she won the
Best
Oscar.
Actress.
Yeah, for supporting actress for the film. Yeah, and so she is taking this meeting with Marcus, and he goes, "Wait, have we met before?" And she's like, "Well, no, I don't think so." Because she's putting on that whole, "Oh, geez, I'm just the aunt, and I'm just in from town." She's kind of laying this all on very, very thick.
Why is she there instead of the parents?
And she explains that the parents, the mother has fallen ill, and the father has had like a minor stroke, and that she is there to help take care of Alex. Okay. As she put, and so when Marcus asked her, well, the story that she gives Marcus, because she tells different things to different people, is the fact that why are the parents sick? They've got a touch of consumption.
Oh.
He's like, I'm sorry, what? Consumption? Just because. And then he says, "This sounds like something someone on the Oregon Trail would say." And
does he bring up child services, saying, "Well, look, I'm not going to call them" or something, right?
He's the one who brings it up because he needs to speak to the parents in person, and Aunt is not going to.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to get them involved. Yes,
right, because he's like CPS. And he says it. I'm not convinced anything is wrong. I don't want to have to do it. There's been no official complaint, but we've had, he doesn't come out and say it's Justine. He just, we've had this, questions are being asked, and I need to talk to the parents, and just one little meeting with them, and now, I'll squash this thing. And, so we cut to, we cut back to Marcus and the husband, whose name I keep forgetting because I'm not sure if they ever say it. and they are watching, and they've got like a whole tray of like, they got enough hot dogs
Hot
sitting there to
dogs.
take a horse down. And they are watching a documentary about parasites.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you said parasite earlier, because that's another motif that runs through the film.
Okay.
Is parasitical behavior and literal parasites. You know, it's like every character in this movie is kind of feeding off of one another, and not in a good way. It's all to their detriment.
I suppose, yes.
And when we get to the end, there's a thing that I think is kind of a little bit on the nose, but I see why it's there. But the point is that you have another theme, and that's, parasites running throughout the film. James is like you said, James is a parasite. Justine's kind of a parasite when it comes to Paul. Stuff like that. And then you have the character who is a literal parasite, and that is Gladys. So Gladys, go ahead.
She's got interesting hair.
She does.
She looks like a clown.
She does, which is why the Pennywise comparisons tend to come up. Like that scene in the woods with James. That's very much straight out of it. It is very much something. There have been like theories of our Gladys and Pennywise from the same universe.
What? No.
Maybe.
Let me explain.
There are similarities.
Okay. Do I gotta spell it out?
Go ahead.
You're building up Gladys too much.
Okay.
Gladys is a flunky. All right, we'll get into that in a little while. I know she seems terrifying at first. We got her number by the end of the movie. All right.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get into it. She's not some interdimensional creature like Pennywise. She's
not that.
She has some. She knows some tricks. She's a person.
She's a trickster, like Pennywise can be.
Okay.
But that is, in my opinion, the extent of it. She's not riding through the universe on the back of a turtle. No. None of that. She's not interdimensional. She is not.
Look.
She is not.
Can we just?
There's
say
only
what
so much
is?
that she can do. She is a witch.
Yes, she's a witch.
And
right?
we are up to the scene where we
there are two types of witches. Mm-hmm. There are two types of witches. There's the sexy witches, and then you have the old crones. This is a crone witch. All right.
Yes.
If you watch the movie The Love Witch, that's a sexy witch. The Love Witch. Okay. This is
I
a
need to
crone
see that
witch.
movie.
Okay. Yes.
I know what it is. Though. I'm aware
witch.
of it. Yeah.
It's a crone witch, and yeah, I mean she's like a modern version of a crone witch. That's what she is. She's got just no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do wonder, how old is she? Because of, again, some of the turns of phrase that she uses, like the consumption thing. There's a couple of other things that she says along the way to make you think.
Possibly.
That's kind of an odd thing to.
She's just batty.
Say. Yeah.
Okay. Let's finish up the Marcus segment though. She stops by Marcus's house. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Oh, my car broke down. I'm so thirsty," or something. And like who lets her in? Is it the husband or is it Marcus?
The husband lets her in.
Yeah, which Marcus didn't necessarily want to let her inside. And then she asks for a
No.
bowl of water instead of a cup of water, which is
Yeah.
weird. I think they even say that's weird. Why did they give her the bowl? This is another thing where I think people's heads are not quite working in this movie. But whatever.
Yeah.
They give her the bowl of water, and then she does some weird thingy with like her guy's lock of hair. Is like, what is she doing? And then boom.
Yeah, and and what she does is she,
it's a voodoo doll type of thing.
yeah, it's kind of along the lines of what the One Wish Willow does in Obsession. Is she has this basically this branch of a tree that she keeps, and
An evil tree.
this evil tree.
I guess.
And
I don't know. If it's evil.
she will take, like, well, it's evil around her anyway, and she will take a lock of a person's hair or something of theirs. In this case, she has like a ribbon that she somehow managed to get abscond from Marcus's office, and she wraps it around the branch, and she snaps the branch. Well, she cuts herself with the thorn first because you need blood, but
Yes, and rubs it over the thing. Yes,
rubs it over the thing, and she snaps it, and that's when she. Well, first what she does is she takes
a lock of the
off
husband's hair. So
Yeah.
basically, it makes you a target. It's like, here's your target.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
and then she rings that voodoo bell, and Marcus is going to call the police, and she rings the bell, and then he gets possessed,
Yes.
and that's when she wraps the husband's hair around another branch, and she snaps it, and Marcus kills him.
Yes. And then she has a lock of hair of our lovely teacher. Yes.
Yes, she does.
Okay. And then she's
And now we know what she's going to do. Oh, we also have the thing that I forgot where he like spews out like about 2 gallons of that.
the black blood of the earth.
The black. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
The stuff in the Amityville house. That's not sewage. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yes. Okay. Anyway. All right. And he goes into a crazed frenzy like a rabid dog and goes chasing out into the streets, assuming that he's going to go after Justine.
Mm-hmm. Because she like I said, she is the lock of Justine's hair, and she snaps that stick and sends Marcus like a weapon, like a drone.
Yes.
After, for those of you who are still confused, after Justine.
Yes.
And that's when, of course, Archer, in the middle of the scuffle, he saves the day.
He actually saves Justine. Isn't that interesting?
He saves Justine.
They actually start working together after that, which I think is interesting. Yes.
Which is great, yeah. And he's chasing.
Sorry, someone wrote that on your car. I have a friend at a detailership. We'll get that fixed up for you. No, I'm expecting to say that. I'm like, not admitting to it though, right?
He probably does know somebody. Is the thing.
So
He's the sort of guy who would.
So bad, we'll get it taken care of. Not that it was anyone I know that did that to your car. It's like,
yes. So he chases down Marcus, and Marcus gets hit by a car, and he is no more.
Street pizza. I feel bad for Marcus and the husband. Yeah, they didn't deserve what happened.
They did not.
But they were too slow on the uptake. But again, how often do you run into a witch? And of course, who was really unprepared for the witch is, of course, young Alex's parents. And we get to find out how this all started, right?
Right. So we cut from what's left of Marcus to the hospital, and Justine and Archer get patched up, and this is when they start to work together, and she's got a piece of the puzzle, he's got a piece of the puzzle, and that's they pull their resources, and he says, well, I think the kids, the kids all went running off into one direction, and I think they're in this section of this neighborhood. And she goes, that house right there, that's right in the middle of this circle that he's printed up on the map, because Alex Lilly lives right there. And that's when they together start staking out Alex's house. And then that's when we cut to Alex and we get his chapter. And we get his sort of his day-to-day, and we meet his parents, and the actor who plays his dad looks kind of familiar to me. I think he was in that Whitest Kids You Know series too. Right. Probably was.
Did you run any supermodels today?
Yeah.
Stupid. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You kind of get the idea. Okay, these are decent people, and I thought the mother was Carey Mulligan at first when I first saw this.
Yes,
because there's a bit of a resemblance there, but it's not. And
so we have to invite my great aunt Gladys, who I've not seen since I was 5 or something.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the story we're given. But I'm wondering, did Gladys put like some kind of whammy on them to trick them into thinking?
Here's what I think happened. This is my own thing. I think there probably was a Gladys, and then I think this other woman came in and say, hey, Gladys, and now she's at the bottom of a well somewhere, and then she took on the identity of this woman that this woman hasn't seen since she was young, and of course she's not going to recognize her because it's so many years later. Oh, she must have aged or something. She doesn't know what she looks like. Do you understand? It's like that movie, The Visit, okay, where you're going to stay with your grandparents where you haven't seen and where you've never actually met, and it's like, no, that's not your grandparents. Those are the weird old people that killed your grandparents and took over their house or something. You know what I mean? It's like, That's what I think is happening. I mean, it could be a whammy thing, but I think what it is she's a witch, and she just took on the identity of this other person, and then hopefully to be put into contact with these kids. Maybe she met her at a beauty salon while she was getting her hair done. I don't know. I mean, we don't know. They're not going to sell you, but that's my suspicion since the daughter, since she didn't really remember. It's been so many years. I think she's just an imposter. Gladys is probably not her actual name. All right. It's probably something else.
That might not be.
Yes.
Yeah. But and who names anybody Gladys these days either, unless there's somebody who is like somebody's great grandmother or something. But anyway, that's when we get the next morning, because Gladys kind of arrives kind of in the middle of the night, and then the boy walks in on her, and we see the tree, and he kind of opens the door a little bit farther, and she's staring back at him. But it's not the Gladys that we've seen up to now. She's very frail. Her hair's falling out. She's in a very bad way. Obviously has some kind of
cancer,
yeah,
or some other kind of disease that's killing her. Yeah, that's what you think it is. We're just going to take care of her till she goes. She's family. No one else wants to take her on. We don't want her.
And like the father says, I don't think she has that much time.
Yeah.
So, okay, let her be with family until she passes. And so we cut back to Alex in school. He's bullied by Matthew, Archer's son, and who's...
Yeah, we don't know it's his son yet until the end. That was the big thing.
Well, no, we do know, because we've seen him.
Okay.
The pictures of him in the house and the dream sequence. So we know, okay, this is his son. And the kid's a prick. He's just every bully, nightmare. The kid that gets knocked out at the end of the, at the end of 3 o'clock high or something, and
Or a
somebody
Christmas story or something like that. Yeah.
when
Okay.
somebody finally clocks him, um,
Well, I'm thinking
he's
more Christmas.
yeah,
The guy in 3 o'clock high was terrifying.
well, yeah, he's like, he, Richard Tyson was not a small guy.
It's a brilliant
um,
movie.
yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah.
Uh,
And so, all right, that's you see. So he walks home from school because his father is not there to pick him up, and he goes home, and the parents are sitting at the table, and kind of in this kind of some not as zombified as they are when we've seen them in the rest of the movie, but they're on their way there because Gladys
we're
put the
acting
whammy
weird.
on
They're
them.
acting weird.
They're
Yeah, she put
acting
the
weird,
whammy on them.
and
Yes.
she's kind of Gladys is very quickly taken over things, and
She offers to make him some mac and cheese, and he's like, "What's going on, Mom and Dad?" Like he's asking too many questions. And then Gladys finally gets a little angry. I think, right? Yeah.
yeah, because he throws a glass of water in his dad's face to try and snap him out of it, and he's not. And she said, "Well, you're going to go upstairs without your dinner," And so, night, day, he comes downstairs, and they're still sitting down there, and that's where basically Gladys makes her mistake, because she shows him how to do the spell by showing him that she can control the parents and make them do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I told you she's a flunky.
Yeah. So, she's,
She thinks she's
so,
all that. You're not. You're not. You're still
No.
just a human being.
Yeah.
She shows
So-
him the technique of how to do it. Yes, and she's
Yeah.
probably witnessed it. Little Alex might have witnessed it a bunch of times after that, right? Some of the
I'm
stuff
sure he
she's
did.
done.
Yes. But the point is she goes through this whole thing of doing it in front of him. He says, I can control your parents. I can make them do whatever I want, and I can even make them eat each other if I want to. Yeah, and I was waiting for that to happen. And then I realized, wait, this isn't Backrooms. What the hell?
She's probably tried
and
it on other people.
yeah, and so they're like, and so they start stabbing themselves with the forks. And it's very, very creepy.
Yes.
Very, very creepy scene. And, he finally gets her to stop them doing that. And pretty much, she gives them this is kind of my house now and my rules, and, and this is when we start the whole thing of the idea is that she is using the parents to quicken her, I guess, because she goes from being kind of this sickly old crone, and then as time passes, and this is when we realized that this has all been going on for a much, much longer period of time than this was all started. It didn't start with the kids disappearing. This is starting ever since Gladys came to Alex's home.
Yes.
And so she thinks that basically, for the lack of a better term, being that parasite and feeding off of the life force of the parents, that will make her better. But after a while, it's very clear that that's not working.
It's not enough.
So it's not enough. So that's when she comes up with the plan of go to school and take something from all the kids in your class and bring them to me. And that's when she hatches the plan of taking the kids out of their homes. And this kid is so sweet because even then he's like, well, we can just take you to a hospital and they can fix you. And he's like, I'm too far gone for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get the whole thing of the kids all running to Alex's house. Alex and Gladys let them in. You get the whole thing of the town basically going nuts over this. This is all like a montage, and you see the time passing, him being, changed to the other class, him feeding the parents and the kids with the Campbell soup.
Yes, the condensed Campbell's soup, not mixed with anything cold. Yes,
Right.
wonderful.
And you get the FBI, the scene of the FBI coming to the house. And they somehow missed the basement, which made me wonder if she didn't put like some kind of spell.
No, you're giving
them.
Gladys too much credit.
Am I?
Yes,
Okay.
I think she's a flunky. I don't think she's putting a spell. I think the FBI just didn't bother opening the basement. Oh, this looks normal. I think they're not they're the investigators were not good at their jobs. That's what I think is going on here. Gladys knows some tricks, and yeah, she said that thing with the consumption. You know what you say, Gladys? Say the flu. I know they had the flu. If you're back like from 1700s, they had the flu. But just say the flu. Don't say weird stuff like measles or the black plague or something like that. Am I wrong here?
No. I don't think you're wrong there. No.
Your popular disease of choice. You had a whole bunch of papers in the house.
It is. Yeah. All right. So one day, Alex goes to school. He comes back.
Yeah.
And there is the squad car out front.
Yep.
And the now zombified Paul and James are standing in the house awaiting their orders. And Gladys is at the top of the stairs and she says to Alex, pack your things. We're leaving tomorrow.
We got to start this over in another town because they're getting too close. They're going to find out. All right. Yeah. That's because they're going to look for a missing police officer. So
right.
We just got to, it's not going to fly, maybe for a couple days, but they're going to catch on to where he was.
Yeah. And so she walks back down the hallway where she has the parents guarding the door and she has like a line of salt on the floor and she says, don't cross it.
Yes. Because of course it's some kind of activation thing.
Yeah.
Like a security tripwire. Yes.
Okay. So we cut to the next morning, and by this point, this is where Archer and Justine are waiting outside. And they see, and then of course they drive up. Oh, the cops are here. Great. And then of course she recognizes that it's
who is
Paul.
In there. Yeah. Who she thought was separated from his wife. Well, anyway.
And so Paul spots them and gestures them inside. And because Josh Brolin thinks he's Thanos, and because Julia Garner is Silver Surfer, they go inside.
What else do you do?
No backup. No, let's not call anybody else. Let's just let fake Han Solo.
A lot of Marvel actors in this movie, actually.
They are. There are actually a few. Yeah, and this is when the big final boss fight starts. And Justine is fighting with Paul, and Archer's fighting with James. And And the number of times that Archer has to throw this kid around to get him to stay down, and it's to the point to where it does start to get a little kind of darkly funny. And Justine starts fighting with Paul, and they're in the kitchen, and she whacks him in the face with a frying pan, full on with a frying pan. That doesn't work. And then she takes like a cheese grater to his face.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
And that doesn't work. And then finally she gets his gun, shoots him in the throat. That doesn't work. And then she finally, puts one through.
What is hard?
Through the brain pan.
Oh, the brain.
And
okay.
And that is, and no more Paul. And that's when Alex goes upstairs and he steps on the line of salt, and the parents start running after him.
Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, Archer is still fighting. He's still fighting with James, and they bust down the door to the basement, and that's when Justine walks up and shoots James. So James is out of the picture, and she
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she wanders back, and he goes downstairs to see the kids. She wanders back into the kitchen and kind of, oh, Paul, Meanwhile, the parents chase Alex into Gladys's room, and he gets one of the branches because he's now going to do the spell. So Archer is running through the basement looking for his son, and Gladys pops out of out of the corner,
Mm-hmm.
kind of Jane Gum style, and and she jumps at him, and they cut away, and it's all. The editing gets very, very fast cuts by the end of it, and you cut back to you cut back to Alex doing his spell, and then he gets like a hair off of her real hair that's tied into the wig. And he snaps it, and before he does that, that's when Archer goes back upstairs and he starts choking out Justine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Gladys walks into the kitchen, just a few moments and it'll all be over, and then snap, and she's like, oh no. And she runs out of the house, and all the kids they bust down the door, they bust through the windows, and they are all chasing after her. And then you get these shots of them kind of running through all of these houses, busting down the door, jumping through windows. They chase her through people's yards, down the road. It is almost comical. And there is a point where it's like I said, there's a lot of very dark humor in this movie, but it is there. And it is almost kind of funny because at this point you're like, okay, this bitch has got to die.
Gladys effed around. She effed around
and now she's finding out.
She's a flunky. I'm not impressed with her. Okay. She's another loser witch. You read some old lore and you thought you were better than everyone else. Well, now you're being hoisted up by your own petard, or is that the expression? I don't know. You're done.
Well, I like to give her a little bit more credit than that,
please,
but she deserves the comeuppance
yes,
that she gets. and she finally gets chased down, and all of the kids, they rip her to pieces.
Yeah,
And
they take her head off.
And
That's what does it.
yeah. and pretty much Matthew that does that. And I've never spotted it, but we mentioned parasites before.
Yes.
And I'm looking at this now, and when they pull her, she goes out like Rhodes in Day of the Dead.
Yes.
That's what happens. And when they yank her head apart, you see the parasite.
Not following, but I'd probably have to watch the scene again.
It goes back to the whole thing of, kind of this parasitic behavior and people being and this whole kind of theme of parasites that runs through the whole. It's very brief. You got to look for it, but it's there. And the thing that, and that's why I brought up the fact that when Marcus and his husband are at home and they're watching that documentary and you see that thing come out of the ant.
Yes.
That's what's coming out of her head.
Oh. Well,
so take of that what you will. I don't really kind of give that too much credence, but it is a through line in
well, now I'm wondering if that tree thing she had stuck something in here. If that was a parasitic relationship she had with
possibly
that tree thing.
I don't know, but
so the kids,
it's something to think about. So the kids basically have rescued themselves because the now that she is gone, everyone that she has possessed is now no longer under that spell. Or are they?
Well, here's what I think is going on. I think the little girl said some of the kids later on are even starting to talk again. This is my suspicion, okay? I can't speak to his parents because his parents, obviously, I think they're in a catatonic state for the rest of their life. I think with the kids, I think they sort of just had their memories wiped and now they're having to start over from scratch, so they have to learn how to speak and motor functions and probably all that stuff again. I think that's what happened to the kids. So, a few years they might be semi-normal. I don't know.
Right. Well,
I don't think they're going to have their memories back. I think their personalities are gone because I think they got wiped clean. But I think they're still young at least, so maybe they can have something semblance of a normal life. Yeah.
All right. So
my theory.
The line that is in the film when it comes to his parents and what ultimately and where Alex ultimately ends up is that like his parents are being fed soup by other people now who are taking care of them, and he has gone off to live with a different aunt, but this one's nice, so
because she's an actual family member instead of whatever Gladys was. Gladys was not related to them. I'm firm believe that if there was an actual Gladys, that she probably, like I said, it could have been a whammy thing where she put a spell on them. But I think what happened was she just found a relative of theirs and bumped her off and took her place. Okay, that's what I think happened.
All right.
I don't think she was actually related to them. No. Yeah.
No, I don't think she was either.
Yeah.
And of course, you get the final line of here. I want to get this exact because some people have questioned it. All of the kids from his class got reunited with their parents. Some of them even started talking again this year. and we get a close-up of Matthew being carried away by Archer, and that's where the film ends.
Yes.
Now, you can take that at face value, but then there are other people who say, okay, she's an unreliable narrator, because at the beginning of the movie, she says, and they never came back. Well,
Okay.
obviously they did, because they've all been found at the end of the movie, to which I qualify as physically they are back, but mentally, did they ever come back?
Yeah, I don't think mentally the kids did come back. I think basically what happens was they're a clean slate, and like I said, they'll just have a late start in life. Okay, that's what I think is going on there. They're going to learn how to talk and do the motor functions, and they'll catch up at some point.
Now, here's kind of another angle to that. The original scripted ending doesn't have the narration at the end. You just see Archer walking off with his son, and that's it. It's left more ambiguous.
That might have been better.
Thanks
to the narration.
Yeah. Narration is very, and this is kind of something I've run into in a kind of a side project that I'm doing. Kind of, when is it best to have narration, and when is it best to just cut it and let people think about it for themselves?
I have an answer for your question.
Okay.
When is it best to have narration? In the Shawshank Redemption and nowhere else. I'm sorry. Definitely not in Blade Runner. Troy's not here. Okay. Definitely not in Blade Runner. Oh.
Well. Here's where I'm at about the narration in Blade Runner.
Oh.
Was when I saw it as a kid, I needed that narration because I needed to understand what was going on, because I was young, probably too young to be watching the movie, and it was a little over my head at the time, so I kind of needed it, and the fact that it is this noir detective story, I'm used to there being, and then I went over to Rick's to see that, I'm used to that,
No.
But the thing is Harrison Ford didn't like the narration either and didn't want to do it, which is why he sounds so like bored and like he doesn't want to be there, because he didn't. And he did it that way, hoping they would cut it, and they didn't. So it kind of got stuck in that version of the film. Now, when you get to the final cut, which I'm sorry, folks, is my preferred version of the film.
I like it too. It's my preferred version of the film too.
Even though I love the theatrical version, but the final cut for me is the definitive version, because you understand why that narration doesn't need to be there anymore.
The documentary on the making of Blade Runner is on the DVD, when they talk about interviewing people, and they talk about this beautiful scene with Rutger Hauer, and he dies and he lets the doves go, and and then suddenly you hear Harrison Ford talking. Oh, what did he mean by that? Why did he let me live? And it's like, shut up. I don't shut up. You're ruining.
Yeah, and Frank Darabont is like, yes, thank you. I know that.
So bad.
Yeah, Dangerous Days. Great documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the final cut the best, because I think the final cut, it's the director's cut, but actually better. I don't think any of the added scenes hurt it. Like, I think they added a couple small things in there, and I know the whole Deckard's a replicant thing gets on people's nerves. I get it, or is he or isn't he? Yes, but other than that, I'm sorry. I like the fact that I don't believe this is in any cut of the movie. I could be wrong. Where I think Sebastian, you hear a police radio saying he was murdered by, I think, Roy.
Yes,
and I think that was important to have in that movie. Whereas I think they left it ambiguous in the other cuts, and I think no, because Roy, I think Roy even likes Sebastian, but that's not what it's about. It's about attacking the Tyrell Corporation and human society
Yeah.
that have turned us into what we are. It's a
Yeah, and
revolt,
that,
and unfortunately, Sebastian's a
yeah,
part of that, even though he's not a bad guy and he's still murdered.
and
Yes.
he basically has outlived his usefulness for them.
Well, he
So
could have, and they could have just let him go, but no, he's making a
yeah,
statement. Everyone involved in
he
this,
is.
stuff are getting killed because we are
Yeah.
fighting the system. That's what it's about. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that was from his point of view, probably why he did it.
Yeah.
And I think it was important to have that line in there. But it's okay. We can have the wonderful the wonderful voiceover. And yeah, I wonder if Weapons would work better without the little girl's voiceover. And part of me wonders if that was put in there because of test audiences. And I feel the director didn't want to give it too happy an ending.
No,
Well, we don't even know who this little girl is.
No, we don't. That's another thing. Is that we who is this girl? Because we just hear her. We
She's
do
in
not
another
see
class.
her. You know,
She's just reciting it. Yeah, you know
okay.
what? I'm actually starting to wonder if this voiceover is ill advised. Maybe it would have worked better without it. I think we could have probably figured things out. I mean, couldn't they have done something like with a news report saying how the kids, like a local news, saying, "Oh, this is weird. It's these kids disappeared" or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have at least made local news, right? Them talking
know.
about how the kids disappeared, how they're still searching for them.
I mean, there's that, and then and another thing that I kind of think of is since I just went into basically perceptions of things when you're younger against when you're an adult. It could also play into, okay, they physically came back, so to her mind they came back. You get what I mean? You know, like it's almost like, okay, because she's young, she's missing certain details that if she were older she would understand better.
So if it had been
I don't know.
If it had been an adult woman doing the reciting, and this is what happened when I was a kid, it might have been different.
Yeah.
Than some kid reciting it. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Now I think about it, this narrator is bothering me now.
Yeah,
I let it go the first time, but yeah, no, okay, yeah.
You know, it's. I think it works like gangbusters in the trailer. It was that narration that made me really dig that trailer. But you know, but
I don't think it ruins the movie, but I think maybe the movie didn't need it. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I question whether or not the narration at the end needed to be there. And I don't know. Like you said, maybe it was a test audience thing. Maybe Zach Krieger put it in there because I don't know. Maybe he wanted it to feel like there was some kind of victory at the end. I don't know. You know, I mean, that's left for really anyone to judge. You know,
victory at the end was the witch getting her comeuppance. It's like the end of Suspiria when the coven gets its comeuppance, which I'm spoiling that movie if you've never seen it. But we're gonna kill that bitch of an American girl. Well, that bitch of an American girl is gonna whoop your ass in a few minutes. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen it, but here's the thing with horror movies. Here's the thing with horror movies. I think people don't understand this. In horror movies, there's always the risk that the ending is not going to turn out well for the protagonist. But you can also have horror movie endings where things do turn out well and the monster's defeated because, you know, you just need the threat of it not working out. And that's why sometimes it can't work out in horror movies. But when it does, it makes it sweeter, I think, knowing that it could have gone the other way. Yes. So, yeah. Good movie. I liked it.
Yeah, I do too. I think I had it in my top 10 for the year. I think I had it around number 3 or 4, something like that. But yeah, it's a good film. You know, is it perfect? No, but you know, it's better than a lot of what you're going to see.
Holy cow! He's directing Resident Evil.
Yes. He is doing a Resident Evil film, but it's kind of a side thing. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like it doesn't have anything to do with like the Mila Jovovich films or anything like that,
Right.
and it doesn't have anything to do with that Welcome to Raccoon City nonsense
Oh, I heard that was a joy.
or the Netflix series.
Or the
But
Netflix series Lance Reddick, though.
why?
Why is that your is that your final performance? Please, no.
No,
Okay.
but
This might be good, actually. During an
so
alternate events of Resident Evil 2 from
uh,
1998, Brian, a medical courier, is in the process of making a delivery when a sudden outbreak forces him to fight for survival. This might be okay.
it might be
We'll see.
interesting. Yeah,
I
I'm
was
going
a
to give
big
it
fan of
a chance.
Resident Evil
Yeah,
2 back in the day. Yeah.
and that's going to be starring Austin Abrams, who's James in this film.
Okay.
And because not only did you have like a bunch of Marvel actors in this movie, you actually have two actors from the American.
You mean the TV show? Okay. Yeah.
Because Julia Garner and Austin Abrams are also characters in that show as well. So
Yes, I felt kind of sorry for a character on the Americans. Though to be fair, I think the main character on that decides I don't want to use this girl to get
no,
to the end.
he
So I
doesn't.
guess
Yeah,
I felt bad for her on that. Yeah. So good
and
cast.
at
Yeah.
the same time, Carrie Russell's in kind of a similar situation with Austin Abrams, and she doesn't go forward with that either for the same reasons. So very
Sure.
interesting.
Interesting show. The wife was a
Yeah,
true believer in the Soviet thing, whereas I felt her husband was more just he was a nationalist when it came to Russians. That's why he was supporting it, not so much because he believed in the ideology, but
yeah,
he was a Russian, so he wanted to support it. It's a fascinating series.
it is.
Oh, anyway, it's getting late, so
It is.
just good movie though, and who knows? Maybe I'll give this Resident Evil movie a chance, even though the track record. Actually, to be fair, I grew to like the Mila Jovovich movies only because they turn into wonderful B movies as the series goes on and
Yeah,
gets more
they
complicated.
this kind of forgets its own lore within its own film at times, and
It does.
yeah,
I don't care. I love the guy they had playing Albert Wesker. They said the guy who played Albert Wesker just watched the games. Said, okay, I'll just play him like he is in the games. And
yeah,
he's like spot
he
on.
did.
The Wesker
Yeah,
from the video games, who's one of the greatest video game villains of all time. But
yeah.
yeah, it's. I enjoyed the Mia Jovovich movies, but this might be a cool little horror movie. We'll see.
Yeah. All righty. So, Boomer, tell the folks what you have coming up next.
I will be on with you on Tuesday for Sparkwood and 21, and then
Mhm.
on Friday I will be on with Troy for Last Call, and I suspect the subject will be AI, but we'll find out. Yeah.
Mhm. And of course, as for myself, like Boomer said, Sparkwood 21 Tuesday night, 8:30 Eastern. Right now, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Comedy Greats, a show I'm going to be co-hosting with Outlaw Bill, and we are going to be watching the movie Don't Look Up from 2021 with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's see. Later that night, 11 p.m., coming attractions, where you get to find out what I'm going to be doing next week, up to and including my appearance Friday night on Films with Friends, hosted by Big Al Presents. And we're going to watch the original pilot movie of The $6 Million Man with Lee Majors from 1973. So that is what I am going to be having on now.
Cool.
All right. So, Boomer, any final words before we close it out?
Yeah. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Okay. Leviticus, I believe. No, I'm kidding. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, probably thinks back in the day, witch meant poisoner. Think about it. Think about it, because you got the lady in town that's real good at making healing potions, but that same knowledge could be reversed and made into poisons. And maybe
Yeah.
that happened on some occasions, and people conflated that with witchcraft. I don't know. We'll see, though.
Makes sense.
Or maybe they just had weird trees and weird spells they did to make children go nuts. And, well, nice ending, though. I like the movie.
Teenage angst has paid off well. Now I'm bored and old.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
If she floats, then she is not a witch like we had thought. A down payment on another in Salem's Lot. No, sorry. Serve the servants. Oh, no.
Now I have that Donovan song stuck in my head. Season of
Season of the Witch.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, Yves. Okay.
All right. Well, okay. I've probably demonetized the stream. Oh, well. All right. Well, thank you to everyone who joined us here tonight in the chat. To everyone who is following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Thank you, Boomer, for taking the time out to join me this evening. Talk about this, I think, what will probably be a cult classic down the line.
So. Yeah.
And as I always say at the end of every broadcast from HQ, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, don't step on a line of salt, because this is how we win. There's supposed to be music. Oh, there we go. Good night, everyone.
It's even odd when Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah. Steam it up on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.